Hello, everyone. Thank you for patiently waiting. Today, we have a very special guest. We are going to be talking about travel and retreats and summer um, things that are going on. But first, let me introduce myself. I am Yvonne McBride. This is Yvonne McBride Lit Life. And in this space, we celebrate, we motivate, we inspire women of the diaspora to live for, plan for, and reach for the life of their dreams. If that includes traveling for you, this is a special treat. Um, we're going to introduce our guest, Ronke O is going to be talking about her retreat coming up in July 3rd to the 9th, I believe, right?
You got it.
We're
Yes.
going to be talking about her travel adventure. She is an avid wanderluster, and we're going to be getting some tips from her. But first, Ron K, please introduce yourself to the people.
Hey, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. My name is Ronke Olaleya or Ronke Olaleya in the Nigerian accent. I am a modern Ajala. I run a small travel business very focused on empowering women to travel solo around the world. And I've recently ventured out into group travel. And I'm so thrilled to be very soon, like Yvonne said, hosting my first mother-daughter trip. And we will be going to Senegal. So I'm really excited about that. But I'm even more importantly excited to be here with you today, Yvonne.
Thank you for saying yes. I have been stalking your page, your Insta page. You hit all the places that I want to go. We're going to get into that in a second. But first, I want to get into your brand name. Please tell the people what it means. Yes, let's start there.
Yes. So Ajala is actually a modern Ajala is my brand name, like you said. And Ajala is actually a real person. So it's a popular last name in Yoruba culture. And I'm Nigerian. I'm Yoruba. And Ajala was a man who I guess lived. He's no longer with us in life. But he was very popular, I think, in the 50s and 60s. And he was the first, we believe, African to really travel the world. He traveled the world in a motorcycle. He visited Russia, India, and actually filmed a scene with Ronald Reagan, like the former
Wow.
president of the United States. He has this book called An African Abroad. Everyone should check it out. It's hilarious. And so he became so famous, like a socialite in those days, that a Nigerian artist named Ebenezer Obey sang a song about him. And the refrain or the melody of the songs went something like this: Ajala traveled all over the world. Ajala traveled all over the world. So basically, as I became an adult and found a passion for travel, my dad gave me this nickname, Ajala. And my dad isn't unique. Basically, any Nigerian parent that has a child that travels all over
Travel.
the world, that you just get that
That's your
nickname.
nickname. Okay.
And so I decided to create this brand because, one, my dad gave me this name, but really to honor sort of the memory of this man that was curious about the world and traveled everywhere. So I'm a modern Ajala, modern in that I'm a woman, I'm not a man. I'm certainly not travel around in a motorbike, but certainly carrying on that legacy of exploring the world like the first Ajala did.
That is so dope. I didn't know the backstory, so I'm glad I asked the question. I just looked it up. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, and it said world traveler, right?
Yep.
But the story just gives it another, another
Yes.
level, and
Yes.
especially that it's a known name for people of the continent, but also if you're a traveler of the continent, you automatically get that name.
Exactly. I'm trying to find like what a an equivalent nickname is in America.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
think about it, and if it comes to me, I'll share. But basically, like if you travel by default, you just get called that. Like the new version, I don't know if you've seen. Like there was this challenge last month that was very popular. There was this song on Instagram that was trending called Laho, Laho,
okay.
and there was a refrain in the song, and it said "Minister of Enjoyment." intercontinental. So like,
Ah,
I don't know if you saw those reels, but like
I haven't. I have to look them up and share. Oh my
you
God.
should. But basically, the modern day equivalent now of like another nickname for people who travel a lot, they just call you Minister of Enjoyment. And for Americans, we don't have ministers. We have like senators, we have
Right.
presidents. But in many other countries, you are the Minister of Finance, Minister of Health. And so they call us
Of
Minister of
enjoyment.
Enjoyment.
Yes. I think that should be a thing, actually.
Yes, we should all enjoy the God-given lives we have.
Yes. So when and where were you bit with the wanderlust bug?
Oh my goodness, it's such a good question. I don't know. I can't even actually I do know. I was telling someone this story a little bit recently. I have a coming to America story. So I think that
Okay.
did it. Like I grew up, I was born in Nigeria and I spent a number of years there before my parents and my siblings moved to the United States. So like
Okay.
the coming to America experience, getting on a plane, traveling, I think was like step one in this journey.
Okay.
But then in high school, I was in the choir, and the high school I went to offered the opportunity for students to go sing abroad every summer.
Okay.
So we had a choir, and we basically had a touring choir. And I first went to uh, Prague in the Czech Republic,
Wow.
and
What kind of choir was it?
like a concert choir. So we
Okay.
sang generally classical music.
Okay.
We also went to Poland. Like people were shocked. Like before travel became a thing. Like I was in Poland in like a long, long time ago.
Right.
Not
And in
just like
high school, right?
Warsaw.
Not college. Yeah.
Exactly. This is high school. So I think that did it. I think this like in this high school felt it was very important for its students to have exposure to the world. We had foreign students. I had classmates that were from Japan. I had classmates that were from China. I had
That's good.
classmates from. So I think my high school really catalyzed the spark for travel in my earliest years.
Okay.
Then I went to, I think even that in that high school, we had to learn a foreign language. Like you had to learn another language. I spoke French, and my French nickname then was Renee. And then finally, I think as an adult, I just made it a priority, right? I just kept that travel spirit, that curiosity about the world, and whenever I could afford, I would just go. So I
You would
think
just do it.
the initial catalyst is my personal narrative coming from somewhere else always makes me feel connected to the world and the globe. I just know that there's more than America. And then being in America, I've been very privileged and blessed to have been in environments that encouraged me
Yes.
to do more traveling.
Especially like your family, like a lot of families, and it may be because y'all traveled here, but a lot of families for young people, they don't encourage that, right? Or back then they didn't, when we were growing up. So where did you all come? How old were you when you got here, and where did you relocate to?
Yeah, I was 10 when
Okay.
I came to the States, or maybe 9 going on 10. And we settled in the DMV area, DC, Maryland,
Okay.
Virginia area. Yep, exactly that.
Okay, so let's get into this 60 country pilgrimage, this journey of 60 countries. Did you, while you were growing up, right? You said you started in high school. Was it always a plan to get to as many countries as you could, or did it just happen naturally?
Yeah, again, another great question. It is true on my IG page at A Modern Ajala. I think I have in my bio that I visited. I think it's 60 plus countries, Yvonne.
Yes.
So don't even get it. It's more than 60. I don't know how many
Put the plus
countries.
on there. Put the plus on there, girl.
Put some respect on my name. No, no,
Yes.
no, just teasing, just teasing. Yeah, honestly, Yvonne, no, I did not grow up thinking that I would have this bucket list to travel to 60 places. Absolutely not, or more. What really happened is that I lost my dad in
Oh,
2021.
okay.
And death is a part of life, but his was really sudden and unexpected. And the only thing that I knew how to do after that was travel. I don't
Yes.
know how else to explain it, but travel became for me a way to process my grief.
Yeah.
And so I started traveling and I didn't stop. And so I think perhaps when my dad died, I don't know how many countries I'd been to at that point,
Yeah.
but he passed when he did. And since then, so it was recently 4 years ago that he passed. I've slowed my travel volume has slowed down in the
Okay.
last year and a half. But from 2021 until 2023, I traveled to around 38 countries.
It's crazy.
Like the volume I did in that time
That is
was
crazy.
insane. Like I would just buy a one-way ticket. If I found a deal to go somewhere, I would just go. I would carry on a single piece of carry-on luggage.
Yeah.
And then on arrival, if I liked the place, I would stay longer. And then I would say, oh, where else is close to here? I might as well just go to this next country or go. And that's how because honestly, when I left the DMV and got on a plane, the tears would come, at least for that first
Mm.
year. When I was at home in
Mm.
Baltimore, I mean, there was lots of tears, but there was just different. And I felt like I was more maybe in care mode, thinking about my mom, thinking about that. But then when I would get on a plane, it was just like I could finally just release my personal emotions about his passing, and it just gave me the space to be by myself and just cry,
Mhm.
honestly. So thankfully that the grief turned into hope and happiness, and um yeah, and so I just kept traveling and kept doing it. And it really has also allowed my mom and I to get closer as time went on, and she was healing herself. I started to invite her on my trips, which of course is now evolved into our first group trip coming soon.
That I love the whole thread. I love the thread that your dad gave you the name. And I think a lot of people, because it's similar to me, I think a lot of people use travel as a catharsis, right? It's a catalyst for a lot of people to explore, to get, first of all, to heal, right? To heal, but also you realize during transitions or after transitions that you don't, like, life is short, right? Life is short, life is precious. You don't know when what's going to happen, so you may as well live it now, right? Don't wait. Book the trip now. And but I love that that's your dad gave you your brand name, and that you're basically on this journey, in uh honor and paying homage to him while you're traveling.
Absolutely. Yeah. I couldn't have said it better. Thank you for sharing that.
Also, we're not going to hold you all. We want to make sure we get into this trip, but I'll have questions about where you've been. So, okay,
Tell me. Yes.
Benin, yes, Benin, Botswana, Paris, Cartagena, the Caribbean. You've been so many places. That's why I've been stalking your Instagram, because I've been a couple of places, but I'm trying to get to your level, not in the volume of places, but like the where you choose to go.
Mm,
So,
mm.
um, what? How do you choose where you're going? How do you choose where your next locations?
Yeah, I mean, I need to do better with my like reels and all of that kind of stuff. But I maybe 3 years ago I posted. I don't have a strategy. I don't.
Okay,
I don't have a bucket list. I think maybe now that I've done the volume I have, now I'm starting to think about where do I really want to spend my time.
okay,
But I'm open. Like the world is huge. People are great by and large, and there's so much to discover. So the way I pick where I go is whatever's on sale. It's like I go to the J. Crew store and I only buy what's on sale. Like I
yes,
literally only fly somewhere that is on sale. So I this is what I meant by sharing those reels. I have a reel out there that basically says like if you want to travel more, the thing you have to do is use Google Explore. Go
okay,
to google.com or flights.google.com, go to the explore button and literally write down whatever city you are that is you're from. And then the destination is you literally type in the words anywhere.
Anywhere.
Basically, Google will give you a list of anywhere in the world that you can go to. You can tell Google, I don't want to stop anywhere. So you can click nonstop. You can tell Google, I do not want to fly Spirit. I do not want to fly Frontier. So you can remove those bad, those, sketchy
Because you
airlines
don't,
from the list.
because believe me, you do not want to fly.
Look, I don't judge. I listen. I don't judge. If you need to fly Spirit, may the Spirit of the
If it's
Lord
a
be
day
with
trip
you.
and you don't have to carry any bags, okay.
Maybe. But the point is, you can customize like your
Your search.
preferences, and Google will spit out a list of places you can go to, literally. And that is how one time, maybe in 2023, I was like looking for somewhere to go the night before. People don't believe me, but I always have receipts. The night before, I was like, where can I go tomorrow? Google said Delta was flying from DC at the time to Belize
Wow.
for $79. Do
Wow.
you
Oh
think
my
I
God.
I went?
Of course you
100%.
did.
Yes. So I don't, I mean, so to answer your question, it's like I don't have a strategic plan. I don't have this list. This year I had a little bit of a list, but that's because I had a wedding. And so I wanted to plan around that. But the answer is like the world, there's 190 something countries in the world. Everywhere is probably great. So just,
Yeah.
I don't limit myself to any one place.
So what has been your favorite country? Your favorite countries?
Oh, it's so hard. I really love France. I know it's like
Okay.
maybe basic, and people have lots of thoughts about Europe, but I speak French. I've
Okay.
really
That makes a difference.
yeah, and it well, and I the reason I speak French is because I spent time in France, in
Gotcha.
Paris in particular. So that really helped me to improve my language skills. I just love the countryside of France. I love wine. So it's a global giant of wine. So I love that. And I also love that it's very easily accessible. You can get to basically Paris from anywhere in the world from a flight. So France has a special place in my heart. I also really love. Recently, I went to Tanzania. Tanzania is
Ah,
just like
yes.
incredible. Everyone should go, and don't just go to Zanzibar. Please don't
Okay.
make this mistake. Everyone goes straight to Zanzibar. You are doing yourself a disservice. Take some time, especially in September, and go to a safari. Safaris are affordable. When I get my act together, I'll write the content about it. But generally, unfortunately, people try to make safaris this like once in a lifetime opportunity, and they ask you to pay $20,000. No, you don't have to. There are ways to do it, and you go just see nature and be in it, and then you go to the safari. And go to Zanzibar after that. But Tanzania, the food, the culture, the scenery, it was just like out of this world.
What parts of Tanzania were you in?
Yeah, so to do the safari, Tanzania is known for the Serengeti National Park. So that's
Gotcha.
where I was, and that's sort of near a town called Arusha.
Okay.
And then I spent time in Dar es Salaam is the capital of the country. So I spent time there. And then, of course, I spent time in Zanzibar, which is, where the most people flock to for the beach and ocean, etc. But yeah, Tanzania, I loved. Another country I really, 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 really loved, speaking of Zanzibar, is Oman. Oman is
Ah.
not on anyone's list, but again, your list,
And exactly. That's what I'm saying. People follow her on
your
on Instagram because she goes to places that you may not have ever heard of, but places that we need to start exploring different countries, different
yes,
islands
yes.
out of the tourist areas,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Oman is epic, spectacular. It's a Muslim country. It's a Gulf state, so it's shares a border with UAE, which is where Dubai is, which is
Okay.
where Kuwait, all of the Gulf states. I was there solo, me, Black woman. No one bothered me. Some of the world's most expensive perfumes come from Oman. So I toured a perfume factory, which was like very net new for me. The reason I mentioned Oman after Zanzibar is Zanzibar used to be a sultanate of
Okay.
Oman. So there's a lot of influence of the two cultures. The food is amazing. They have something called lobster omani. It's just like lobster tails that they use all sorts of amazing spices. I didn't ask questions. I just ate. I ate 6 lobster tails in one sitting. I did. I did. It's my life. I get to enjoy lobster tails if I want to.
Yes.
Oman is just, it's just and like for me, I was there in December. I'm a Christian, and there's a lot of history there. There's a lot of frankincense trees
Okay.
in Oman. And I just love, like, there's, especially during Christmas time, a lot of reference to frankincense, which is what like the 3 wise men brought to,
Yes.
and so I got to see a frankincense tree. I don't think I ever like saw
I
one
have
in
never
my
heard
life.
of a
And like,
frankincense tree. I didn't
it's
know. I
there.
just knew the incense was the smell was
It's
frankincense.
there.
I didn't know it was a tree.
It's
Yes.
an actual tree, and
That's
the sap
crazy.
from it is used to make oud, which oud is like a big thing in perfume world right now. But like,
Wow.
anyways, go to Oman, go to Albania. If you want to do a yacht week and get on, like, do islands, I'm telling you now, you heard it here. Go to Albania before Albania gets too expensive. It is the last European Riviera. You have the French
Wow.
Riviera, which is where like Cannes, Saint Tropez is. You have sort of the Spanish version. You have a lot of Greece. I mean, so many things there. But I'm telling you now, go to Albania. It is affordable. People are nice. The food is chef's kiss.
I hope you all who are watching the replay are picking up on these tips. I really do. Um, we can't hold her. She only have a few minutes with us. So we want to get into this retreat. We want to get into this retreat. But one thing I love about you that you travel the continent a lot. And you said you are from the continent, so that is understandable. But let's get into the retreat. Okay, so it's coming up July 3rd to the 9th.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a mother-daughter retreat, and this is why I like it. This is why I wanted to invite you on, because you hear everybody's selling a package, right? Everybody's selling a yoga retreat. We're selling solo retreats for Black women. We're selling all type of retreats, but I've never came across a retreat just for mothers and daughters. So where did this idea come from? Where did this spark from?
Yeah, thanks for asking that. And again, as an avid solo traveler, if you find a great solo travel retreat, go do it. So I'm not here to malign any other person's sort of package, but yeah, like mine, I do think is unique, and I appreciate the acknowledgement.
It is.
My mom is my best friend. I guess I didn't really realize that till this moment.
Yeah.
And we've gone through, she's known me my entire life. And she's worked so hard, like many people with immigrant stories, like,
Yes.
just she came here and started from scratch and built the life that we have, and is really behind the life that I now have built for myself. I couldn't have done any of this without her. And yeah, again, once my dad passed, she lost her best friend. And so she had to lean on us, myself and my siblings. And my siblings, have offered her or given her the gifts, beautiful gifts of grandchildren. I don't have that yet. But what I am able to do is take her to experience the world the way I've been able to experience it. It takes her minds off things. It gives her, like, again, she spent all of her life in a hospital. She was a nurse, or,
right.
And so she didn't really step out. So it's just a joy to be able to do this. And every time I would post something with me and my mom, I would get the most engagement. Like, people just love, because honestly, even though I'm talking like really nicely about her, she gets on my last, very, very, very last nerve. Like, I'm going to keep it real with you, like, she's my mom. And I'm sure I get on her very last nerve. So like, I try to keep things real. Like, I post good days and I post bad days. Last month, we were on the Victoria Falls. We were in Zambia, and it was Easter Sunday. And I took her to have high tea because she's never had high tea before. And we got to high tea, and this lady was trying to order salmon. I said, Mom, this is not salmon time. It's time for high tea. To which she responded, who made you, God? Like, why? So like, this is the reality. But like,
This sounds like the makings of a podcast or a reality show with just you and her traveling. That's what this sounds like. Oh, I think we froze. Okay.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Yes. A podcast. I know people are like, y'all need your own Netflix show. I don't know. The point is the spark behind this was I was already traveling with her, at least once or twice a year. And I wanted just to have an opportunity to open up our experience to other mother-daughter trips. I'm in my 30s. I have a lot of friends in similar age or older who want to travel, who have never been to Africa, and who want like to do something with their mom
Yes.
that's meaningful. And so we've created this opportunity to go visit Africa. Like we're going to Senegal. We're not going to France. We're not going to
Yes.
Portugal. We're going to Africa. And we want to dispel the notion that like Africa is inaccessible or scary or dangerous, whatever it is. No, I've been to many countries. It's fine. It's amazing. It's more than fine. It's memorable. And so, like, you have that layer, Africa, but then you have a layer, you get to do something as a grown adult with the
Yes.
person who birthed you or raised you or who is
Yes.
meaningful to you as a mom. Like, what better opportunity? So, I'm just so thrilled that we were able to do this. It is coming up very soon, July 3rd through 9th. There are still slots left. You don't even have to be a mother daughter. Like some people are just like, my mom can't do it. She's in a wheelchair, or my mom is just too old. And that's fine. If you have, if they're like-minded women, you want to enjoy this, you can come. We'll make an exception, but we're really focused on honoring this mother-daughter bond and really helping mother-daughters to share Africa together for the first time. So I'm really, really thrilled to be able to offer
I
this.
am so I think this such a wonderful idea just for the bonding experience. Um my mother passed my mother passed
Sorry
a
for your
decade
loss.
ago. This would have been a dream trip that I would love for her and I to have been able to experience. Um but since her passing, I have had surrogate mothers, my godmothers have held me up. Um but just like she said, if your mother is no longer here, this is not just it's a mother daughter bonding trip. It could be for surrogate mothers, it could be for godmothers, it could be for sisters who have raised you like a mother, any of those things. But I think this is such a great idea because how you may have in the States traveled with your family or traveled with your mother, but to go to Senegal, right? And experience that together. That is outstanding. This is a great idea. Why did you choose Senegal? Why that country?
Yeah, I mean, Senegal is stunning. Number one, it is. I think it's beautiful, but I also think it's a very good intro to Africa country. It's
Okay.
not so far from the States. It's a 6 hour, 50-minute direct flight from JFK, for example, in New York
Okay.
City. So it's easy to get to. It's not like Cape Town in South Africa, which would take 16 hours. So one, it's accessible for people who are maybe nervous about traveling in general. It's like a very easy flight. Two, it is very, very like, for better or worse, European in some senses. Like it was a former French colony, so there's a lot
Okay.
of French influence there. And I think again, for people who are just like dipping their toes in Africa, here's a country that has rich history, rich roots. So it's not watered down at all. But for those who maybe need a little bit of comfort of like the Western world, there's a
Right.
lot of European influence there. So that's a second reason I chose it. Third, it's very affordable. I think like you can eat very well there, you can lodge very well there, and for not a lot of money. I went there for the first time last summer and I fell in love with it. There's just amazing black excellence and blackness there. Again, my trip is open to anyone, but
Okay.
I don't know, I don't see a lot of black people where I am, and just to go to Senegal and see black people in water, surfing, doing things that we don't
Yes, because
necessarily
it's a
do here,
coastal
like
country.
the
Yes.
coastal like to me was just like paradigm shifting, and I just can't wait for people to experience it. The food, I mean, the music, people go from all over the world. There's a San Louis Jazz Festival there, like music, culture, again, ease of access.
Yeah.
I don't think you can beat it. And it's a gateway to other countries. So that's what I've told my travelers. If you want to go to Gambia after, be my guest. If you want to go to Cape Verde right after, be my guest. If you want to go to Mauritania right after, be my guest. It borders so many other nations that you can experience other things in Africa, other places in Africa, and get like a 2 for 1 kind of deal.
This sounds amazing. How many slots do you have left? You have a few slots left.
I do. I have 4 mother-daughter slots left. So
Okay.
8 people are still welcome to sign up if you want. Would love for you to sign up. Again, if you are not a pair and you just want to join us, we welcome you. But we're still looking to fill some of those slots very soon.
Okay, the link to snag your spot is below this video. Her Instagram to follow her is below this video. One more thing, I know you have to go. What can people expect from this trip? What have you have planned for the retreat goers?
Yeah, it's going to be 5 full days of programming. So we're going to do like, you know, a general touring of Dakar just to center yourself
Okay.
in the capital. We're also going to go to Ile Gorée, which is the point of no return, which is where enslaved peoples were removed from Senegal to be shipped elsewhere.
Right.
We're also going to go surfing because I think it's so cool to be able to be in the water as a Black person and have no fear of it or issues with it. I went surfing for the first time last year. I suck. But it's so nice to be in your 30s and learning something new and not be ashamed of it. So I'm really excited to do that. We're also going to meet some artisans. We call them ateliers, people who
Okay.
are craftsmen in their field. So whether it is in jewelry making, or there are fisherwomen, not fishermen,
Fisherman,
fisherwomen
fisherwoman.
who are
Yes.
holding whole communities on their head. We're going to be visiting some of them and eating some of their good food as well. So it's a little preview. It's 5 days. We will be in Dakar for the first few days, and then we're going to go to Senegal's Riviera called Sali. It's in the south. We're going to go there for the last few days, have some beach time, some relaxation. We're going to do a cooking class where we learn how to cook their national dish, which is jollof. As a Nigerian, there's a little bit of tension there because
Yeah,
we
yeah.
Nigerians
A little
believe we have
battles.
the best jollof in the world. We'll see, but it's going to be a wonderful time.
It sounds so fantastic. I'm so excited for you.
Thank
This
you.
is your first mother-daughter retreat. I'm sure it won't be your last. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. We'll have to have you back. We didn't get into, I had so many questions, but I know you're on a time
I'm already
schedule.
over time. Yes, with
Yes.
pleasure. I will come back. I really appreciate everyone who I've gotten to talk to on this show. Please follow me. Look forward to hearing from all of you and maybe
And
seeing
look at
you.
the trip. Look at the trip details.
Yes,
Again, they're under this video. I'm sure if you have a mother surrogate, if you want to, just go to Senegal, this is the trip for you.
100%. Thank you, Yvonne. I really appreciate you reaching out, and have a wonderful
We'll see
weekend.
you again soon.
Yes.
Everybody
Bye.
take care. Thank you.